Hello Journey Junkie tribe and hello yoga community. Welcome back to your weekly opportunity to step on the mat and do the work, or what we call live our journey. Before we get started, and always, if you are not part of the online tribe, I can't stress enough how impactful our community is. Click the link in the description below and come join us. Today's yoga class is all about side plank pose Padahastasana. It is a wonderful posture that you will find many times throughout the power vinyasa flow hatha practices. For today's class, I recommend having at least one block and a strap nearby to help you get the full potential from this sequence. Other than that, with that said, we're going to start on our backs, so I will meet you there. Okay, starting on our backs and bringing our strap along with us. You can also use a towel or a scarf, a belt, really anything to help you loop the strap around the ball of the foot. Extend the left leg straight up to the sky, toes coming back towards the face. Hands can glide up the strap. The right leg is active here. The leg is on, it's energized, and the right toes are coming back towards the face too. And then we bring the left foot closer towards the chest, towards the face, stretching the hamstrings. Also stretching evenly into the knee here. And of course, beginning to turn on that yogic breathing, inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Continue to push the heel up towards the ceiling, finding that stretch from the back of the knee all the way up through the heel. And take 3 breaths here. Begin to move the strap so that it starts to hug around the heel now. Same thing, but this time send the toes up towards the sky, and you want to think like you have a high heel on here. So still flexing the toes, but pointing the ball of the foot up towards the ceiling. Again, find 3 breaths, making sure that the left hip, the glute is rooting down into the earth. The right leg is still on. 3 breaths. Relaxing the jaw. It doesn't need to work here. Maybe that's just my jaw. And on your exhale, bend the left knee, release the strap, extend the left leg long, moving to the other side, loop it around the ball of the right foot, send that right foot high up to the sky. Start to walk the hands up the strap to your desired height. Bring the leg closer into the chest and then push evenly through the foot here. So making sure not to collapse to the inner and outer edge of the foot. Left leg is on. We breathe for 3 breaths. Sliding that strap back towards the heel now. Pointing the ball of the foot up towards the ceiling. Same thing, 3 breaths. This is also a really great posture stretch to do any time of the day, morning, night, to show some love to our hamstrings. 1 more breath. And bend the right knee. Release the strap off to the side. You won't need it until later in the sequence. Find your block. once you've found the block, and if you don't have a block, no worries. You can just do this without a block. Bring the block like so and place it between the upper inner thighs. And then I want you to squeeze with all you've got, activating the inner thighs here. Alrighty, hands down by your side. On your next inhale, begin to lift the heels, lift the toes, bring the legs to a hover, and then begin to stack the knees over the hips here, or something like that shape. Once you've got that, hug the lower ribs towards the hip points, engage that transverse abdominis, and on an inhale, lift the shoulders up, lift the chest up. Toes are active, legs are squeezing the block, and let's pulse for 20. So just reaching the fingertips towards the front of the mat, keeping everything engaged and active. I've lost count. Just keep going. Halfway there. Pulsing, 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 breathing, strengthening, doing the work. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, let it go. Remove the block, place it out to the side. Hug the knees into the chest for a moment in Padahastasana. Hands come behind the thighs. Begin to roll back and forth on the spine, moving at your own pace. And we're meeting in Navasana, boat pose. We're not too warm yet, so modified boat pose is perfect here. Making sure we're lengthening up through the spine, broadening the collarbone, keeping the core engaged, and enjoying ourselves, yeah? So a few breaths here. You can begin to straighten the legs, but if you're overtaxing the hip flexors, it's going to send the tension to the low back. So if you find that that happens, bend the knees again, come back to this modified Navasana. Alrighty, inhale. Exhale, low boat. Think canoe shape. Inhale, high boat. Exhale, low. Inhale, high. And low. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Whew. Exhale. Inhale. And my core is on fire. Exhale. Inhale. Ooh. Exhale. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Last one. Exhale. Inhale. Lift. High boat. Hold and cross the ankles. Meet me in downward facing dog. Whew, nothing like intense core work to start off our practice. 3 breaths here. This is your time to walk it out. Make those organic movements that you enjoy in Adho Mukha Svanasana. Alrighty. Find stillness in your downward facing dog. On an inhale breath, come forward, plank pose. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, down dog. 3 more. Last time. Inhale the left leg back and high. Reach through the heel. Hips nice and square. Another inhale. Exhale, knee to left tricep. Hold it there, hold it there, hold it there. Find pigeon pose. Just for a moment, just for a moment. Don't get too excited. Right leg lengthens back. Inhale, breath, lift up. Exhale, breath, lower down. Few breaths. Enjoy it while we're here. All right, curl the back toes under. Come back onto your hands if you knelt down. On an inhale, lift your hips and plant the left foot outside the left wrist for lizard pose. Let's keep the back knee lifted here so that we cultivate some strength in this posture. Long lines through the spine. Back of the neck is nice and even here. We're not cranking or hanging, just hanging out in alignment. One more breath. Listen carefully. We're going to step forward to Malasana Yogi Squat. So bend the back knee just a little bit. Use the core. Push off. Hop up. Squat it low. Again, we're not super warm, so this is not your 100% Malasana Yogi Squat here. Push the knees out with the elbows. Lift up through the collarbone. One breath. Hands plant, lift the hips, heel toe the feet together. Forward fold, Uttanasana, ragdoll hang, let the neck go. First forward fold always feels so good. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise, come all the way up. Reach the arms overhead. Exhale, right back down. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, step back to plank pose. All right, now listen carefully. Each vinyasa, I'm going to give us the option to do side plank each time. How nice of me. Let's first modify here though. So from side plank, or from plank, drop your right knee down, pivot the left heel down, and open up. Left arm goes high. So if you're a beginner or working on strength, this can be your side plank variation. Left arm down, come back to plank pose. Left knee comes down, right heel drops, open through the heart, right arm lifts. Come back down to plank. Option to move through a vinyasa, dropping into chaturanga, upward facing dog, or meet me in downward facing dog. So I'll remind you of that variation, that option for Padahastasana each time we move through a vinyasa. Here we go. Inhale, forward plank pose. Exhale, down dog. Bring it forward. Take it back. Keep the breath active. Plank pose. Inhale. Exhale, down dog. Rock it forward. Take it back. Bring it forward. And take it back. Extend the right leg this time. Reach through the heel like you're punching through the wall. Hips are square. Another breath. Exhale, knee to tricep. Hug it up, hug it up, hug it up. Pigeon pose. Nice little break. Alrighty, one breath to lift up. A few breaths to relax down. Inhale, rise up. Curl the back toe under. Remember, inhale, lift the hips. Plant the foot outside the right wrist. Find lizard pose. Strong back leg. Knee is tractioning over the toes here on the front leg. Reaching through the crown of the head. Alrighty, bend the back leg, gaze forward, use your core, hop up, Malasana Yogi Squat. Drop the hips. A few breaths here. Inhale, hands come to the earth. Lift those hips high, heel, toe the feet together. Find your forward fold, let it go. And now let's take a cleansing breath. I want you to really open your mouth and let it all go. So big inhale through the nose. One more time. Big inhale. Oh yeah. Alrighty. Root to rise. So come all the way up. Reach those hands high. Gaze at your fingertips. Gaze at where you want to go in life. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Flat back. Exhale, step back to plank pose. Option to come into side plank on both sides. So take your time. Bring one hand to the center underneath the face and slightly forward. Reach up, Vashisthasana. Make sure you do the other side. And hey, if you're not into side plank, you don't have to do any of it. And move through your version of a vinyasa. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Alrighty, so we're gonna get to flowing. I do recommend having a block nearby as we're moving through triangle pose and half moon pose. And those are postures I really love having a block for. Inhale that right leg high. Exhale, knee to nose. Take it back. Knee to nose. Take it back. Knee to nose and hold, hold, gaze forward. Plant the foot, pivot the back foot down, rise up, Virabhadrasana 2. Readjust your clothes, do what you need to do, heel to arch alignment, knee tractioning over the second toe, fingertip to fingertip activation, and breathe for 3. Next, inhale, find side angle, top of left forearm, right forearm comes to the knee, the thigh. Reach the left arm overhead. Rotate the chest open towards the sky as you push down through your heels to lift up. 3 breaths. All right, next inhale, begin to straighten the front leg, and we're transitioning straight into triangle pose. This is where you might want to recruit the block, place it on the inside of the right leg or foot so that you can find expansiveness and length both underneath and above, so both sides of the rib cage. 3 breaths. Exhale to gaze down, coming into half moon pose. Bend into the front leg. If you want, take your block with you. Place it 6 inches in front and on the outside of the right foot. Step the back leg up and high. Find your Ardha Chandrasana. So really, we got 5 breaths here. I want you to really take your time, stabilize the planted leg so that you can rotate and open the left hip higher, 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 while keeping that leg very active too. If you feel ready, extend the left arm up towards the sky. And now 3 breaths. Last inhale. Exhale to bend the right knee, plant the left foot back, rise up 5 pointed stars, so pivot the feet to the side of the mat. Inhale the arms straight up to the sky. Exhale, hands to the hips. Another inhale, lift the chest high. Exhale to forward fold. Coming into Prasarita Padottanasana. If you're itching for a headstand and you want to get upside down, we have 3 breaths. Feel free to take whatever variation you want. If you're up, make your way down. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, Skandasana to the front of the mat. We bend deeply into the right knee. The left toes lift. We're on the heel. Whoo, the hamstring stretch. 2 breaths. Take it to the back of the mat, bend into the left leg, come up onto the right heel. Inhale back to the front, come into a runner's lunge just for a transition. Step back, plank pose. Option to add in a side plank on both sides here. Modify or not modify, or skip it all together. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Okay, inhale that left leg back and high, other side. Exhale, knee to nose. Really round and use your core to get the knee in tight. Knee to nose. Back and high, last time, knee to nose. Hold, gaze forward, plant the foot, back heel drops. Rise up, warrior 2, 𝗪𝗲𝗃 2. Find your setup. Drop into the pose. 3 breaths. Next inhale, left forearm comes down. Find your side angle pose, bending deeper into the knee but keeping it stacked over the ankle. Opening through the chest. 3 breaths. Strong posture, strong mind. Okay, straighten the front leg. Transitioning into Trikonasana. So if you want your block, bring it to the inside of the left foot leg and open the body. Both legs are active, they're working for you, they're helping to root the posture so you can rise up. 1 more breath. Gaze down, bend into the front leg, transitioning into Ardha Chandrasana. Hand comes forward 6 inches and a little bit to the side. As you bring the weight into the left foot, really root down through the heel, rise up, open through the right hip. Active right leg, do something with the toes. Maybe the right hand comes high. One more breath. Exhale, bend the front leg, plant the foot down, rise up 5-pointed star to the side of your mat. Exhale, hands come behind the back this time for a bind. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, hinge from the hips. So send the hips back. Feel your hips crease as you slowly lower down, bringing weight into the toes, sending the shoulders back behind you. Drop the head and neck. Release the hands to the earth. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, Skandasana to the back of the mat. If you feel like playing with balance, sorry that my back is to you, but you can lift both hands up, making sure this leg is really working, and open them out to the side. And then switch to the other side. Taking your time. Okay, transition to runner's lunge, top of the mat, step back, plank pose. You choose, decide to go straight through a vinyasa or play with side plank pose. Taking your time, focusing in on the strength and the alignment, so the stacking of the body here. And we'll all meet in downward facing dog. Alrighty, inhale to gaze forward. Exhale your way, top of the mat. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. Root to rise. Hands down through heart center and down by your sides. All right, moving through Utthita Padangustasana, I think, or Padahastasana. Essentially, it's what we did lying down on our backs when we first started, but we're now standing up high. So why am I making you do this standing? Because the full expression of Navasana is when we lift the top leg, clasping our peace fingers around our big toe, which we'll get to later, and opening. It's such a big opening. But the sensation that we experience standing is how we can get used to the balance of it all. So let's start on the right leg, right foot. Grab your strap if you know that you're someone who needs that extra boost of flexibility and love. Bring it around the ball of the foot, just like you did. Firm up that standing leg. If you don't need the strap, peace fingers clasp around the big toe. Right hand comes to the right hip. Bring the strap into the left hand completely. Every one hand on the right hip, and begin to straighten the leg. You might need to walk your hand further up the strap. And flex the toes back towards the face. Stand up nice and tall. Make sure not to lean back. And breathe for 5. Keeping the left femur bone, so the top of the thigh, plugged into the hip. So not letting it hinge forward. Squaring the hips off. One more breath. And let it go. Good work. All right, other side. So if you know what you're doing, go straight into it. If you're coming with me, strap around the ball of the right foot this time. Bring the strap completely into the right hand. Hand to left hip. Begin to stand straight up. As you extend the leg out, you might need to walk your hand further up. And breathe for 5. Last breath. And release, let it go. Nice job. Top of the mat. Moving through a half sun salutation. So Tadasana pose, big toes together. Inhale the arms high. Feel so strong. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, step back into plank pose. And this is your opportunity for actually come down to your knees for a yogi recess. You can play with a few different variations of side plank pose, Padahastasana, which is the modified version if you're feeling like you need a break. The regular expression, so heels stacking atop one another. Or if you're working up to that expression, you can stagger the feet like so. This will help you build up to stacking the feet on top one another. You can also start to lift the hips higher, planting the foot down and coming into a tree-like pose, making sure the foot is not on the knee. And then 2 more things. If you have the flexibility, which I really don't at the moment, you can bring peace fingers like we've been doing around the big toe and start to lift and really open and expand. Lastly, one other variation that's more restorative, let me catch my breath, is from plank pose, you step the foot up about halfway, you pivot onto the side of the foot, and you just lift here like this. Feels really good. So yogi recess, about 2 minutes on the clock. You can also just take child's pose, but I encourage you to play with this pose that we've been working up to for the entire class. So get to side planking, do something. Enjoy your body. Another option is from your side plank. You can lift the top leg for some more strength and then step it back into wild thing. That's another fun way to work with it. About halfway there. Start to wrap up whatever you are doing, and we'll all meet in child's pose for 5 breaths. Sending the hips back, reaching through the chest, through the fingertips, relaxing the forehead down. Allow this to be a total moment of surrender. Alrighty, inhale to lift up. Fall onto one side. Bring the feet in front of you. And make your way onto your back. We are officially wrapping up the class. So I want to offer a few ways for you to seal your practice because I think all of us need something different. You can move through shoulder stand to plow pose, maybe to fish pose. You can move through bridge to wheel, maybe supportive bridge. You can move through happy baby with supine twists. So really choose what you want. We have a few minutes to wrap up our practice. You being your own best teacher and just knowing what it is you want to work on or relax into. So start to make your way into whatever you want right now. I'm in this half happy baby, half supine butterfly thing. If you're doing something on one side, now would be the time to switch. If you're upside down, now would be the time to start working your way back down towards the ground. All right, final breaths if you want to wrap up with a quick supine twist or knees into the chest. Slowly extend both legs long and wide on your mat, moving into our final posture, Shavasana, that moment of integration, reflection, and really connection. So palms down by your sides. You can reach the palms of the hands up towards the sky if you are in a state of giving. And if you feel like you need to ground more, you can bring the palms down. Feel that vibration of the earth beneath you. But choose one. Big inhale through the nose. Let it go. Again. Release. Last time. Let it go. Relax the back of the neck. Let the jaw completely go. Eyeballs sink deeper and heavier towards the ground. Chest is open. Belly is soft. Legs are limp. Shavasana. Begin to deepen that breath, feeling the belly and the rib cage expand. Coming back into this physical space, into your body that holds your soul. Make those micro movements, fingertips and toes, and ankles and wrists. And when you're ready, extend the legs long, reach the arms overhead. Bend the knees. Come onto your favorite side for fetal pose. Bottom arm acts as a pillow. And before you rise up, thank yourself for getting on the mat and doing the work. Say it to yourself. Thank you. We meet in Sukhasana, seated pose, to seal our practice. Keep the eyes gently closed. Hands come to heart center. Take a breath for yourself. Take a breath for someone you love. And take a breath for this community. Open those eyes. Whew, what an incredible practice. I'm like fully alive right now. So I hope you guys feel the same way too. Remember, if you like what you're seeing here, if you like how you're feeling here, join the online tribe. That's really it. Join the online tribe. 4-word manifesto going on, okay? Click the link in the description below. Come join us, and I'll meet you back here on the mat to do the work next week. Namaste, yogis.